These are in listen-only mode.
Okay, Karthik just joined. Let me just bring Karthik on here, then we can back you up also. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. I think Karthik just joined us. I'm going to make him an organizer, so he can back up record our. Okay. Karthik, are you there?
Namaskar, Satish.
Can you back up recording? So I'm just waiting for you. So you can record.
Yes, Satish. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll record.
Okay. So Swagatam. Today is again Budhavasarah. So Ekona Trimshah, 29th Dinankah. This is June 29th. This is Samasa Prakranam. Tatpurusha Samasa Prakranam. Make it more specific. Vyatikarana Tatpurusha Samasa Prakranam. Okay. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Vijata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhautame Bhaurama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti Atha Shri Maheshwar Sutrani I Un Rul Ruk E Ong I Aucha Haya Varat Lanya Nyama Nga Na Nam Jaban Ghadadash Jaba Gadadash Kapha Cha Cha Tha Cha Cha Tav Kapai Sha Sha Sarhal iti Maheshwar Sutrani. What you should remember is that the H letters, A, O, I, Au, are the same matra as a dirgha, I, kara, ru, kara. You should say A, Ong, I, Auch. Anyway, sometimes we chant fast, like you say, like in Gita, I think chapter 3, first sloka, right? Jayasi chet karmanaste. If you say chet, it's a little bit too short. Chapter 3 of Gita, very first sloka. Jayasi chet karmanaste. Chet is long, ekara. Anyway, okay. So last time we were on this page. Let's see. If you are on page 124, Titiya Tatpurushaha. We're doing the part number C over here. A noun in the instrumental case can form a compound with another noun with the latter is produced by the former. This example we have to Chintanyamidam Udaharanam. We'll think about this one. Anyway, let's leave this for time being. And then one more thing is Dhanyena Artha Dhanyartha. Okay. So this we're looking at the sutram which we saw in the class. This is a bit of a cryptic sutram because in the sutram this strange sandhi has occurred over here. So it says Tritiya Tatkritarthena Gunavachanena. So here this is Tritiya Tatkritarthena Gunavachanena. This Tatkrita is the Tritiya has taken a look over here. If you look at Siddhanta Kaumudi, I think we saw it last time, which it says here Tritiya Tattaricha Nandharani. Okay. Tritiya Tatkritarthena Gunavachanena. Tatkrita iti Lupta Titiyakam should be Tatkritena Gunavachanena Artha Shabdena Cha is what it really means. So this sutram has two parts to it. If you look at the vritti, Tritiyantam. That is this word Tritiya, Tritiyantam. Of course, the vritti of sup, supa is coming all the way to this prakaranam. So it will be one sup compound with another sup. So this is the, of course, samas. This is the prasama nirdishtam. So Prasamanidishtam Samas Upasrijam. So Tritiyantam, Tritiyantartha Krita Gunavachanena. So this is what is the meaning of the Tatkritena Gunavachanena. Tatkritena means Tritiyantartha Krita. That Tritiyant is only a shabda, of course, it is not it's only a word. It says Tritiyantartha. So that item which is indicated by that word. Kritena Gunavachanena. So some property which has been imparted by that thing which is indicated by Tritiyanta Shabdena. So if you look at the example, Shankulaya Khandaha. So Shankulaya is the Tritiyantam Padam. Shankula is some kind of a knife, I think. Shankalaya Khandaha. So it's a piece which has been made by this knife. So the Trityantam Padam is Shankulaya. So Trityantartha means the knife. So Trityantartha Krita. So something which has been done by the knife. Gunavachanena. And then that's one part of it. Gunavachanena is this one, Khandaha. And then Artha Shabdena Cha is the second part of the sutra. There are two complete different parts to it. Then Artha Shabdena, single word Artha. Artha Shabdena Cha Saha Pragvat. Pragvat means what? Same as before. Means Va Samasyate Sa Tatpurusho Bhavati. Samasa Bhavati. So one more time in this sutram, which is Tritiya, Tatkritarthena is the most confusing thing over here. You should split it up as Tatkritena interconnects with Gunavachanena and then Artha Shabdena Cha Samasyate. So now what is this word Gunavachanaha? What does this mean? I was just putting this comment before the class, just as the class was starting. Gunavachanaha is a word, this is taken from this book by Charudev Shastri ji, the Panini reinterpreted book, which I mentioned to you a few classes back. So the Gunavachanaha is a word that first denotes an attribute, like Gunaha, and then the person or thing possessing that attribute. So Gunam Uktavan iti Gunavachanaha. That which was referring to an attribute, but now it refers to a person or a thing that possesses that attribute. So now how do we get the word Vachanam? Because normally Vachanam is a pratyaya lyut has been used over here. So this is not today's topic. We're just going to see how this pratyaya came. So if you look at where Panini does the lyut vidhanam, first this Panini says this lyutcha, napumsake bhave lyutcha. So lyut can be used to form abstract nouns to express the action of the verb napumsake. And also it says karanadikaranayoscha can be used when it's a karana or adhikarana. But here this is kartari lyut. Kartari lyut because gunam uktavan iti gunavachanaha. That which described a quality but it's now describing an item possessing that quality. And how do we justify the pratyaya lyut? The way it is given is that this is kind of a loophole, which is kritya luto bahulam. The kritya pratyayaha, which is the potential participles, which starts from 3195, and lyutaha. The lut pratyaya, there will be bahulam. They'll come in different variety of meanings. So there will be variations from the rules given over here. In fact, this nyapakam of bahulam, as a side note, this nyapakam of bahulam in 331.31.13 is used whenever any krit pratyayaha, not only the kritya or the lut pratyaya, any krit pratyayaha, when it deviates from its expected meaning in the Ashtadhyayi, then you can use this sutram kritya luto bahulam as a final samadhana. Of course, this is not a very happy way to do the samadhanam, but this bahulam is available not only for the kritya pratyaya and the lut pratyaya, but also for any krit pratyaya, bahulam. Anyway, so this pratyaya lut has been used kartari. It has not been used bhave. It has not been used karanadikarana yoho. It has been used kartari. So it says guna muktavan iti guna vachanaha. So krityalita bahulam iti bahula grahanat bhute kartari lyut. The lyut has been used bhute kartari, that which has described an attribute. Now, if you look at okay. So similarly, we can say that then he says this is first example Shankalaya Khandaha Shankala Khandaha. So the attribute of being a piece, of being cut off, has been imparted by this knife, and now we're referring to that piece now, which has an attribute of being a piece, being cut off. So of course you can have similarly, other kind of examples. If somebody is is one-eyed or something. I think the other example he gives is Shankulaya, or I think let me give a better example that Arthaha Shankulaya Kirina Karnaha. Kirikarnaha. So this is somebody who is either blind, is either squint or one-eyed because of Kiri is kind of a disease. So Kirina Karnaha. That disease has given him that. So that is something is kirina karnaha. So karnaha is a quality of being squint or defective in vision. So that is now referring to the person who is defective in vision. So kirina karnaha. So I can put that also here. Another example. So kirina karnaha. So kirina karnaha. So kirinama nitra rogaha. Nitra rogaha. It's a kind of a kirina karnaha. Okay. Karnaha. Kirikanaha. So that is but then he says, so then this is one part of it. The other part of it, it says the artha shabdena. So artha shabdena dhanyena artho dhanyartha. Artha is a dhanam. It is a wealth which has been obtained by means of grain. So dhanyena artho dhanyartha. So this is artha is not a gunavachana shabdaha. It is not something which is an attribute and now positioning the attribute. It's not like that. So this which is given in the book, I think it's kind of summarized in the book like that, which latter is produced by the former, but this latter is that it gives the gunavachanaha. The gunavachana should be an attribute which talks about an attribute. Now it's talking about a thing possessing that attribute. So artha will not qualify that. That's why artha cannot be taken as a gunavachana shabdaha. So that is why artha is put separately by Panini in the sutram. So it is so the two parts of the sutram, they become like this. They become the tatkritena gunavachanena and then artha shabdena, that single shabda artha. Tatkritena gunavachanena could be any gunavachana shabda, but artha is a single shabda. The dhanyena artha is dhanyartha, which is wealth, which is produced by wealth by grain, by means of grain. This is tatkrita iti kim akshna karnaha. So by vision, by one eye, he's squint or defective vision. Defective vision was not caused by the eye. It was not caused by the eye. So this will not compound. Will not become akshi karnaha, because this is not the tatkrit, this is the tatkritena. So the tatkrita iti luptatityakam tityantartha kruta gunavachanena tatkrita iti kyam. So this thing, this karanatvam was not caused by the eye. It's a property of the eye and it was caused by something else, like by an instrument or by some disease. Tatkrita iti kyam akshna karnaha. So it has to be caused by this property has to be produced by this trityantartha kritena. So that is not happening here. So the thing of akshikarna will not form as a compound. Iti vaktum na shakyate akshnakarna. So you can say kirina karna, but not akshnakarna, because this property was not caused by the eye. It is a property. So by one eye he is defective by one eye. Okay, now if you look at the book example, what is given is, sadacharena sukham. Now sukham is not really, I think, gunavachana in our definition will not qualify now, because sukham should be an attribute. Now it should be now talking about a person possessing that attribute. It's not doing that right now. So hold this for 1 minute over here, this sadacharena sukham. Now what happens here, look at the next comment I put in this section is, in the case of this Vyadhikarana Tatpurusha Samasaha, we have to already to use technique of Yoga Vibhagaha. Now what is Yoga Vibhagaha? So for all these technical definitions, one of the best places to go is, Professor Abhyankar's Dictionary of Sanskrit Grammar. And in that he has said that Yoga Vibhagaha, here Yoga means Sutram in this case. Vibhagaha means to divide with Sutram. So the division of a rule, taken from this Dictionary of Sanskrit Grammar, put this down here, which has been traditionally given as a single rule into two for explaining the formation of certain words which otherwise are likely to be stamped as, ungrammatical formations. So now what happens is that in all these places of Vizika, this can be used anywhere. This is not a very happy way, not a very good way of doing Samadhanam. Okay? Yoga Vibhaga is not to be used by us, just left and right. The pramanam, for that is, actually for us it's very simple. Look at Shishta Prayogaha, and then look at the Vyakhyanam and the Tika. because Yoga Vibhaga has already been done by the scholars for us in many of these situations. We don't have to invent Yoga Vibhaga ourselves. Most of the time, for us as a practical matter, Yoga Vibhaga is already authorized by the, by the Vyakhyanam or by the Kaumudi, or the case, whatever the case might be. So, but what is Yoga Vibhaga one more time? Let's take this example right now. This is a nice example. Chayaya Dvitiyaha. So, by his shadow, by the shadow, he is the second by the shadow. Now, we will not be able to fit this in any of these rules which we just saw, Chayaya is like a hetu bhutaya. So we did not see any, any sutram which will authorize a tritiya, which is hetau, to form a tritiya tatpurusha samasa. We have not seen that. Because we saw this tritiya tatkritarthena, which is tatkritena arthena gunavachanena. The chaya is not, dvitiya is not like that, so this will not qualify for that. Artha shabda also is not there. Then purva sadrisha samonartha is not in that list. Kattakrina krita bahulam. Nukrityaihi is not in that list. Annena vyanjanam, this is also not there. Vakshina mishikaranam is not there. So we have these set of rules to try to justify this compound. It cannot be justified by these rules. There's really no way to fit it anywhere. So now we try to look for some nyapaka somewhere. This is where compound is a challenge. It's also a fun exercise because unlike if you do sandhikaryam, ikonachi, adgunaha, so straightforward rules, But here you have to be creative a little bit sometimes. Now, and this is where you can read literature. We can read the the Vyakhyanam like Malinatha or whatever. That's why in the Thursday class we're doing Raghuvamsha Kavyam. Let's see how they justify all these compounds. And many times they may not give you the sutram, but like if you're reading Gita Bhashyam or whatever, but they'll give the Vigraha Vakyam. Give the Vigraha Vakyam, that should be enough for you to go and then hunt for the sutram. So how do we justify this compound? This Chaya Ditya. Chaya Ditya means that he's basically alone. Ekaki ityarthaha. Ekaha eva ityarthaha. So he only has a shadow with him is what this means. This is this is interesting shabda. This is Rudi Shabda, I can say. It is a usage which is there, which means that when somebody is absolutely alone, it's Chaya Dvitiyaha, means that he is second only on account of his shadow, because that means he is just basically alone. So second due to his shadow. Now how do you justify this? The way to justify this is that Yoga Vibhaga. This is not the only example. There will be other examples. So make Tritiya as one sutram. You split that out. So this sutram, which is traditionally a single sutram, you split that up, Tritiya. So if you're reading the Tika or the Bhashyam or something, you say Tritiya iti yoga vibhagena samasaha. So what does that mean? That means that Tritiya can be used with samarthena subantena samasyate. Va samasyate tatpurusho bhavati. That will become one sutram now. That Tritiya can be compounded with a connected word, and that will form a compound. And then you take these other rules, which is Tatkruta, Arthena, Gunavachanena, and the Pura, Sadrisha, Ityadi. These are specific rules. So these are the main examples of Tritiya being compounded with a connected word. But these are not supposed to be exhaustive. They only give you so Panini has left a basic gray area here, which is to expand the language. So this sutram, Tritiya, not only Tritiya, but you can also, or you have some, you may have some Vartikam somewhere or something. Like for example, Saptami. Saptami, we couldn't see it in the class if you have time today, Saptami Shaundaihi. Now these are only, for Saptami, there are only few rules to form the compound. Now, you may not be able to justify every Saptami Tatpurusha from these sutras. So then what do you do then? Then the Vyakhyanam will tell you that Saptami iti yoga vibhagena samasaha. That means that this sutram you cannot find. There's no sutram for this, but we have to take out this Saptami and make it a separate sutram. So Saptami can samarthena subantena samasyate. And then the Shaundai, etc. are the main categories of that, but they're not exhaustive. Okay? So this is what is called Yoga Vibhaga. Yoga Vibhaga is used in other places also, not only in compounds, but this is one of the places frequently used. Well, not frequently, but used, more often than in other places. So sometimes the Kashika or the Kaumudi itself will tell you to do Yoga Vibhaga right there. that means you know that sutram is already suspect to yoga vibhaga. You have to make two parts out of it. Okay. Again, yoga vibhaga should not be used by us, just to, create forms. It's only for the shishta prayoganam samarthanartham, to justify shishta prayogas. But this is one place in the Ashtadhyayi, in the Vedikarana Tatpurushaha, where yoga vibhaga is tend to be used more often than in other places. Okay. So this is one example of that is chaya. So be ready for this. Be ready for this. In Vedikarana Tatpurushaha, you will not be able to fit all these, because Panini only has, 3-4 rules for each one of them, where he gives, what are the main ways to form these compounds. Okay, anyway, so that is Yoga Vibhaga. Yoga Vibhaga means to split these rules, like, this is like this one, Tritiya, where you split into Yoga Vibhaga. You can make Panchami into Yoga Vibhaga. You can make Saptami into Yoga Vibhaga. And then, so you know what Yoga Vibhaga means. You know why it is being used to justify the usage, which cannot be justified by other rules, and how the technique is used by the commentators. So when there's no other way out, that is when this is used. Okay, so now coming back to our example from the book now. Sadacharena sukham. This looks to be Sadacharena hetu bhutena. I think it seems to be like to me. So it is happiness which has come about on account of good conduct, proper conduct. So this looks like a hetau tritiya, just like chayaya. So, and this is doesn't look to me to be a gunavachana, gunavachanaha. Because gunavachana means it has to, gunam uktavan iti gunavachana. I mean, you should have take a kana. Kana is squint. So now it is referring to a quality, and now it's referring to a thing or person, the quality. That is not looking to be over here. Sukham is not like that. It's not qualifying anybody over here. I don't think so. So I would like to put this, and that they may not be. See, in this samasa section, sometimes there's not like a right and wrong answer like that. You have to be ready for some different points of view. Not like Iko and Achi or things like that. Or, Suvanta Prakaranam. So I think this is going to be by Yoga Vibhaga. You try to fit in these rules over here, which is this one is not fitting. Tattutena is not fitting to me. Artha Shabda is not there. Purva Sadrisha Sama Unartha is not there. Kattukarani Krita Bahulam is not this is not the unless this uses Karanarthe maybe it's possible. It doesn't look like it. See, to have a Karanam, you should have some Karta using that Karanam. To have an instrument which is obvious, is Pashtam. That the Karta, Anya Karta Bhave. There should be some Karta. So there is no Karta that I'm looking over here, unless it's implying some other Karta. So somebody who has produced Sukham by means of, okay, Indu has a suggestion. Good. Yes, Indu.
Satishji, when we had the Dhanyartha example, the Artha there is really Hetau, right? So.
No, not Hetu. Artha is Dhanam.
Right, Dhanam is Artha, right? So,
wealth,
Dhana is the, I know, but that's a cause, right? That's the Hetu, isn't it?
So, Dhane, so you're saying, but see, the Artha has been, so Dhanya and Artha, yes, correct. But then the Artha Shabda has been given by Panini as, as available to us by guidance. So, yes, I think the point you're making is a good one, but then Panini only authorizes that particular single word, Artha. So, Dhanya Hetukam. Only Artha Shabda can be compounded.
Right. So in that case, even if it's a Hetu, it's not a problem to have.
Yeah, see, nowhere did Panini say Hetu is not allowed. He only said that Artha Shabda can be compounded. So, yeah.
But I thought that Tritiya in Samasa and Tritiya, we had to have it had to conform to Kartukarneyo Tritiya.
So, Kartukarne Kata Bahulam is only one sutram. So that can be compounded with anything which is in Tritiya, and Karturate, Karanarthe can compound with,
No, not Kata Bahulam, 2-3-18, Kartukarneyo Tritiya. I thought
Correct.
It had to conform to that in order to be acceptable in Tritiya Tatpurusha, right?
No, because that one only, you're talking about sutram only 2-132 you're talking about, right? So
No.
in that sutram, yes. So this sutram, in order to qualify for the samasa, you have to have a karta the or karanarthi titiya.
Right.
with a Krudantam. So that can
Right.
qualify.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, the Kartu Kadayos Tritiya.
But that's only Tritya Vidhayaka Sutram. So every Tritya Tattva doesn't have to compound from that one only.
It does not have to.
No,
I
no.
thought that's what I understood from last time.
No. That I was just explaining in that sutram, how this Kartukani Tritya was coming, that's all, So,
Okay.
but every, like you can look at this one, for example, this one, Purva Sadrisha, this is not the Kartukani. So not every Tritya Tatpurusha has to take Tritya from that sutram only.
Okay.
So that is not a condition. But, when you say Sadacharana Sukham, what do you think? What can we use? What do you think?
Right. I think that cannot make sense.
See, Artha Shabda is not there, Krita is not there. It
Right.
doesn't not fitting here at all. It's not a Kartru definitely, Well, unless you can take it, it's a Karta. It has been Sukham which has been done by him, but it doesn't look like it. I think it's on account of that, isn't it?
Right.
It looks like a Hetau. It looks like Hetau. So these are very specific, these are very specific ones which will not be just, something mixed, like food mixed with some, condiment, this is not that. This also will not fit. So our only chance is, this one, if you can somehow fit it in here as Sadachara being the Karta, yeah, probably not likely. So anyway, so that's the choice, or you can make it Yoga Vibhaga. So I think Trityati Yoga Vibhagena Samasaha. So that's what it seems to me, that it doesn't seem to fit in this sutram of Tatkritarthena Grinavachanena. So even though the book has given that, you can think about it, but it doesn't seem to fit in that one for me. So, okay, so Yoga Vibhaga was something which I want to talk about. It's not only for Titya Tatpurushas. In fact, not only for Tatpurusha, it can come, anywhere in the Ashtadhyayi, where we had justify Shishta Purogaha, it can be used occasionally. Okay. Now, this is Chaturthi now. This next thing that was the last thing we did in the class, yes, that last time. One more time to recap is that the Tritya Tatpurusha, there are only these rules from 2130 to 2135. So the main one we saw in the class is we saw 2132 is the most common one. Then we saw 31, 30, and there are a couple of more rules which are less common. So we didn't see all the rules, but we saw three main ones. The Chaturthi starts from here. Only one sutra of Chaturthi. Chaturthi tadarthartha bali hita sukha rakshitaihi. Rakshitaihi. Chaturthi tadarthartha bali hita sukha rakshitaihi. So now let's look at the vyakyanam of that sutram. Chaturthyantarthaya yat tadvachina arthadhivischa chaturthyantam va samasyate satatpurushaha. Chaturthyantam va samasyate. So this is compound, of course, pakshe vakyam. Because if, as I mentioned to you, is that the mahavibhasha of this va is coming back from here. These are not nitya samasa. Because after here, it says vibhasha is coming from down here. This is va samasyate. Now, later on, Panini will say here, nityam. From there again, nityam will come. But until that time, until nityam comes, this nityam is coming later on here, 217. But the vibhasha iti anuvartate. Anupanivritta vibhasha is coming from here. Means pakshe vakyam api bhavati. There can be a vakyam also. So let's look at what the sutram says. Chaturthi prathamanidishtam samas upasajanam purvam. Chaturthi will go first. Tadartha is one part of it. Then artha bali hita sukha rakshita. So this tadartha is one part. Then you have five other words, which artha bali hita sukha rakshitaihi. So now if you look at a quick example, is Yupaya Daru. So Yupa is the sacrificial post in Yajna. So this is Yupaya Daru, Yupa Daru. So Yupaya is Chaturthyantarthaya Yat. So Chaturthyantarthaya. Chaturthyantam is the Yupaya. Chaturthyantartha is the meaning of that word. It means sacrificial post. So for that purpose, yat. So something which is for the sake of the item indicated by Chaturthyantam Padam. Chaturthyantam Padam is Yupaya. It refers to sacrificial post. So something is the Daru. Daru is the wood. The wood which is, so yat means the yat Daru. So Yupaya, Chaturthyantarthaya. So it Chaturthyantartha is Yupa. Tato means tasmai. So for that, so for making a sacrificial post, the wood which is for the purpose of making a sacrificial post, that is tadvachina, tadvachina. So means with the word daru, and then arthadivishcha is a separate part. Arthadivishcha chaturthyantam vasamasyate. So one more time, chaturthyantam vasamasyate goes with two parts over here. One which is that which is used for the sake of creating the chaturthyanta artha, that item, or with these 5 words: artha, bali, hita, sukha, and rakshita. So this is the confusing part. It is tadarthartha. Tadarthartha is to be split up into this tadarthaya, and then separately artha, bali, hita, sukha, rakshita. So this is so it says. So it says, so this is tadarthena. Tadarthena means chaturthyantartha yat tadvachina. So tadartha is one part, and artha, bali, hita, sukha, rakshitaihi is another part. Not tadarthaya, tadarthena I should have said. Chaturthyantarthaya yat tadvachina. Okay. Now, upaya daru is upadaru. This is more straightforward. This process now should be very easy for you. Is upa plus nye chaturthi plus daru plus su. And then the sutram is this right one right here, chaturthi tadarthartha bali hita sukha rakshitaihi. And then this is prathama nirdishtam samasa upasarjanam purvam, which you've done many times already now. Then this takes the prajapadika sanya by kritadita samasascha. Then supo dhatu prajapadikayoho supluk upadaru. Upadaru, now as we say is that we get the paravalingam dvanatpurushayoho. Paravalingam Dvandva Paravalingam. So we'll take the lingam of the Uttarapadam. So it is the Daru. Daru is the Napumsakalinga Pratipadikam. So then we do Stavo Napumsakar Luksyat Upadaru. Upadaru is the final form. Now, next example is Kundalaya Hiranyam. So this Kundalaya Chaturthyantam. Kundala means, I think, earrings. So chaturthyanta artha. Chaturthyantartha is the meaning, is earring. So that which is for that is hiranyam. So hiranya will compound with the chaturthyantam, which is the kundala. So kundala hiranyam. Then ghatebhyo mrittika, ghata mrittika. So it is sand or mud which is used, used clay, which is clay used for creating pots. So ghatebhyo mrittika. Kundala Hiranyam the same way. But then it says that tadarthena. Tadarthena was the first part, okay? Not tadarthena. No, I think I said by mistake tadarthaya. It should be tadarthena. Tadarthena prakriti vikriti bhavaha eva griyate. Tadarthena means prakriti vikriti bhavaha. Means something which can transform itself, which is the material cause for that. Look at all these examples here. Upaya daru means out of the wood you make the sacrificial post. Out of the gold is made the earrings. So the gold is the material cause, material from which the earrings are made. So prakriti vikriti bhav. Prakriti means it is the material from which something. Vikriti means it is transformed into that item. Eva grihiyate. And then Bali rakshita grahanaj nyapakat. So now says that if it was because then why does Panini have to mention Bali and Hita? And so for example if you say, so if you look at the next example down here, if that was not the intended meaning, then if you take Bhuta Balihi, like Bhutebhya Bhutaya Balihi, then if you just say Tadartha, then this could be just compounding could have been by Tadarthena itself. Why does Panini have to separately mention this word Bali and Hita in that sutram? The fact that Panini is mentioning Bali and Hita separately means that Tadartha cannot cover these cases. One more time, Tadarthena cannot be used obviously to form a compound like Bhuta Balihi or Go Hitam, whatever. That will not be compounded because otherwise, if you just take it, if there was no prakriti vikriti bhava, as the condition were not there, then we don't need to. Panini doesn't have to put Bali and Hita separately. So what Kaumudi says is that, says Bali Rakshita, Rakshita Grahan, not Hita, but Rakshita. So protected for that, for the sake of that. So Bali Rakshita, no, I said Hita by mistake, should Bali Rakshita. Bali Rakshita Grahanaj Jnapakat. So that is a Jnapakam, that this first part implies Tadarthena is only Prakriti Vikriti Bhava is implied in that. Otherwise, we do not need to mention Bali and Rakshita separately in the Sutram. So they says that Jnapakat na hiya bhavati. So we don't have a compound in that. Randhanaya sthali. It's a pan, it's a cooking vessel, like a frying pan used for cooking, for frying. So it's a pan, it's a frying pan. So this is a pan used for frying. Now the pan does not transform into the frying, so you cannot have even though it is used for that purpose, it is not, doesn't, Prakriti Vikriti Bhava is not there. Swata Samasona Bhavati. Compounding is not to be done. Then he says, so that's the thing. So in Upadaru, in the Kundala Hiranyam, in Ghata Muttika, all of these you had the material transforming into that item. Then you can form the compound. And how did the grammarians figure that out? Because the fact that Panini has mentioned Bali and Rakshita separately, otherwise he did not have to mention it separately. Because if this Prakriti Vikriti Bhava was not required, then we could have used the same Tadartha to justify those compounds also. So that becomes a Jnapaka, that this is implying a Prakriti Vikriti Bhava. Then the next question comes is that, again this is all from the Kaumudi, it is from here, which is over here. So it says that Ashvaghasadayastu Shashti Samasaha. Then how do you justify Ashvaghasa? Ashvaghasa means it is grass, but the same question is same word in English, right? The English word grass comes from ghasa, so that which is eaten, grass, ghas. So this ad takes the ghasa adesha. Anyway, so Ashvaghasa is grass for the horses. Now how can we make this compound is what the Kaumudi asks. Because we just said that you cannot just simply have something which is for that purpose. We cannot form Chaturtha Purusha. You have Prakriti Vikriti Bhava. Of course, clearly the grass is not transforming itself into the horse. So it says Ashvaghasadayastu Shashti Samasaha. So then there's a way we can do Shashti Samasa later in the class today. We can form this is only Sambandha Shashti. So this is grass, for the horses, means this is relating to them. This is grass in relation to, in connection with the horses. So in that meaning, we can form a Shashti Tatpurushaha. We cannot form a Chaturthi Tatpurushaha. So that we can justify this compound. We don't have to compromise this condition. It says Ashvaghasadayastu Shashti Samasaha. So there may be a different way to form this compound. So Shashti means Sambandha. This is the grass connected with the horses. So that is the Vivaksha of the speaker. He's not saying Tadartha. Tadartha is not implied. So that's what he's saying. So there might be, so that's the other way. That's the one which justify this, which might look like it is Tatpurusha compounds, but they are not, because there is no Prakriti Vikriti Bhavaha. Tadarthena is limited to that. Tadarthena Prakriti Vikriti Bhava eva griyate. So this you want to kind of memorize this along with the sutram. Okay. Now it says Shayana Agaram. So Agaram means it is sleeping quarters. Shayana Agaram. So here, so this is also, this is not transforming itself into sleep, but it is, Shayanasya Agaram. Agaram, I'm sorry. Shayanagaram. So Agaram is the sleeping quarters. So these are all Shashti Tatpurushas. Leelam Bhujam is a lotus, sport lotus. So it is only Sambandha. This is the Shashti Sheshe. These are being formed by Sutram Shashti, which we will see a little bit later on in the class today. So these, we cannot use the Tadarthena to justify these as Chaturtha compound. We can use Shashti with these. That's what it says. Okay, so now then the next thing is that example is Bhuta Balihi, because we just saw Tadartha is one part of the Sutram. Then comes Artha Balihi Tasukha Rakshitaihi. So we can say the, now this Artha will come to a little bit later, okay? Let's hold on to this for time being. We're jumping to this Bali, okay? This Artha, there's a Vartikam for this, we're going to see it next. So we didn't skip artha over here. We'll come back to it. So let's go to bali. So bhuta bali, again straightforward. Bhuta bali is bhutaya balihi. Bhuta, this is an offering, a sacrificial offering made to the spirits, spirit, bhutaya balihi, bhuta bali, etc. Now what about the artha? What about that? There's a vartikam for that now. Arthena nitya samasaha visheshya lingata cha iti vaktavyam. I think way back in the beginning of samasa we talked about nitya samasas and anitya samasa and vibhasha. This is one place where again this is the vartikam under that sutram, tadarthartha, bali, etc. In that sutram there is a vartikam. It says Katyayana says arthena nitya samaso visheshya lingata cha iti cheti vaktavyam, which means that Panini should say that in this Chaturita Purushaha it will be a nitya samasaha. It will also be an adjective visheshya lingata. So lingata means the gender will be according to what it qualifies. So this word artha has a vartikam on it, which is this one, which says that arthena nitya samaso. Nitya samasa means what? Swapada vigraha vakyam na sambhavati. You cannot have a vigraha vakyam which can be formed just from using those terms in the compound. So he says, so that is called nitya samasaha. Nitya samasaha means, if you look at example here, he says dvijaya ayam dvijartha supaha. So this is a soup, English also soup, same word in English, supaha. So this is what you can say, this is soup which is for the priest. Dvijayayam of a brahmana, dvijayayam dvijartha supaha. So the vigraha vakyam is dvijaya ayam. So we cannot use the word artha in the vigraha vakyam. That is what is meant by swapada vigraha vakyam na sambhavati. You cannot just use the word dvija and artha to, like when you say raja purusha, we could say rajnyaha purusha, raja purushaha, etc. We say we had all these compounds. So now, but here we could not do that. We could not use just the word dvija and artha to form the vigraha vakyam. That's called nitya samasaha. It means you say dvijaya is the vigraha vakyam, dvijaya, and then ayam in brackets, dvijaya, dvijayayam, dvijaya. Why does we say ayam? Because he wants to clarify how the lingata, the gender, is coming from supaha. So supaha dictates the gender of this compound, dvijartha. So this artha might be masculine word in the language, doesn't matter when we use it in this compound, because normally we have paraval lingam. Don't forget paraval lingam, dvandva tatpurushayoho. So if artha is a masculine word, we could have only used this one in masculine, paraval lingam. So the compound will take the lingam as the parapadam. So we cannot. So we will be stuck with only the pullingata. So we don't want that. We don't want that. That's why Katyayani says so. So normally artha is a masculine word, but so he says visheshya lingata cha. The visheshyam is a supaha. So become dvijayayam dvijartha. Again, this vigraha vakyam is not sapada vigraha vakyam. So nitya samasaha. And the steps are the similar one. Dvija plus nye, chaturthi, artha plus su. By usual, the word, this word chaturthi is the prathama nidishtam in this sutram. Chaturthi tadarthartha bali hita sukharakshita. This is prathama nidishtam, samasa upasajanam purvam. And then of course you get the prajpadika sanya as usual. Prakritadita samasascha. I think we've done this many times before already, nothing new. Supodhatu prajpadikayoho supluk. Then dvijartha, we'll get the pratyaya su. This compound is formed now. And then because of this vartikam, it becomes visheshya lingata. We'll take the lingam of the supa, which is the masculine word. This becomes pullinga shabdaha dvijarthaha. Okay. Now similarly, dvijartha yavaguhu. Something like a barley, something like a gruel, barley gruel. This is made for the dvijartha yavaguhu. Yavaguhu. So because it's qualifying yavaguhu, becomes dvijartha. Of course, in this case, you have to have the stap pratyaha, because ajadyata stap, and then do anubandha lopa, akasavani dirgha. So dvijartha yavaguhu, dvijartham payaha. So this is milk, which is for the priest. So this is how this compound works. Is this word artha in the tadartha is forms nitya samasah and gets vishesha lingata. So that is the vartikam on that sutram, vartikam. Actually, yavagu is interesting history in the old days. It is a rice gruel, something which was such as, okay, or from any other grain such as barley gruel. Okay, so dvijartha yavagu dvijartham payaha. Okay, so that is this one. There is only one sutram here. Only Chaturthi Tatpurusha, there is only one sutram. Chaturthi Tadarthartha. Tadartha means you have to have prakriti vikriti bhavaha. Okay, that's one part. Second thing is that, so tadarthena the prakriti vikriti bhava ishyate, and then artha shabdena nitya samasaha visheshalingata cha. That's one thing. And these are straightforward. Bali hita sukha rakshitaihi. That was there. Let's look at the book, what he says. In the book, Chaturthi Tatpurusha, a noun in the dative can form a compound like upayadaru with another noun denoting the material, prakriti vikriti bhavaha, which the thing is made. Upanahe charma. It is leather which is for making the shoes. Upanahe charma. Upana charma. Upana. So now how do we get the, let me see, anybody in the class can help me out just. So in the order, how do we get the upana charma here from upana? What do you think? Anybody in the class?
First is going to be hoda, is it? First hoda.
But then hoda is not coming, is it? Hoda is not coming here, is it?
Well, no, it's not.
It's Subandha Prakaranam. Remember what is the rule over here? Maybe in the class remembers upana when we had, right? So what sutram which we are used? Anybody? Because, okay, if when we go through the same steps over here, we get, we like upayadaru will make upana plus me, charman plus su will come upana charman, and then, we'll get that. We go supluk. So now what is, look at the Ashtadhyayi. So what for Hindu, I think on the right track, we have to look under there, because Hodha is what? 8231. So when you say upana plus ne, when we make, we get supting antam padam, pratyay lope, pratyay lakshanam, supting antam padam, right? So we get that. Now, but then can we use anything else? You think below that? Can you see it, Hindu now? How about this one, nahodha?
I'm actually not familiar with that.
Okay, nahodha. Let's 8234, nahodha. Because somehow we're going to get upanat. We need to get, right? Upanat.
Right.
So that is what when we form the compound, we'll have to use that sutram, because otherwise hodha will come. So hodha will come. So upana. So then because otherwise it has the padasanya, right? So now when padasanya, we'll have got the dhakara desha. So I'm sorry, dhakara desha by hodha. We have a dhakara desha. But nahodha says therefore the dhatu nah, the hakara of dhatu nah will take the dhakara desha, nahodha. So let's look at the vritti for that very quickly. Again, this is not the topic right now, but we can look at. So because example in the book says upana charma. Okay. So we look at 8234. Okay, it says that naho hakarasya dhakaradesha bhavati jhali pare padante cha. So naho hasya dhasya jhali padante. So this is apavada for hodha. So when you form the same steps, in fact maybe I put over here upayadaru. So when you do this one, what you'll have to do in supluk, you will end up with upana plus charman. After doing supluk, charman. Okay. So now what we do is that we can use. Can you do it from here on, Indu? What's the next step? When you go to the in fact, we can keep it like this for time being, and then we can go to the. See, before going to the Tripadi Karyam, I think we should decline this one, because this nahodha, etc. All these are going to be in the Tripadi section. So technically, the tripadi should not be used until we form the padam. So we can even take this one and make it charman is an apumsakalinga pratipadikam. So paraval lingam we are going to get to. So let's even make it upanas charma plus su. Okay, let's do that. Drink soup. Look, of course, using the same sutram, using the same sutram to form this compound, just like this one, 2 and 36. So these steps we already did these steps. Okay, now we came to this step now. Okay, now we can do it. Now what is the next step here? This is 412. How about samo napusakat, right? Luksyat.
Right.
So paraval lingam and then samo
Yeah,
napusakat, luksyat. So we'll take this one and then make it into this. So 2426 paraval lingam, 2426 paraval lingam. So it's a lingam of charma. Charma is napusalinga pratipadikam. Samo napusakat, luksyat. Okay. Now what's the next step? Now what's the next step? Now we can come to
we
the
go to Tripadi, right?
no tripadi karyam. So we got su is now gone.
Nalova Pratipadika.
Yeah, we can do that now. So we can remove the nakara
Nakara.
because we brought the pratyaya su over here. This entire thing got the sanya of padam because suptingantam padam. Again pratyaya lope pratyaya laksham suptingantam padam. So this entire thing also has the padasanya. This upana charma su has padasanya. So does upana. Because upana had got the pratyaya nye. So there also pratyaya lope pratyaya laksham suptingantam padam. So not only upana which has a padasanya, but this whole thing also has padasanya. So this nakara is padanta nakara because of this su pratyaya which came and went. So then we do no lopa prajipadikantasya. We get upanash charma. And now we can do this other work. So let's make 827. Now what's the next step now after that?
Look at the dhakara in the place of hakara.
Yeah, nahodhaha. Nahodhaha. But again, I say in almost every class I say this, but I hope that all of you are following these daily examples because the sutram nahodhaha has come in the daily examples already. Already come, I think we have it in the sutra suchi. So because you see nahodhaha has come way back over here. So nahodhaha has been covered already. Naho hasya dhasya jali padante. Hakara of dhatu na is changed to dhakara end of the padam. Upana bhyam upanad bhyam, etc. We already done that. Nahodhaha. So yeah, so please follow daily examples, and if you can keep on doing that, that's in fact a lot to do every day. Of course, we don't have time every day, but whatever time you have, you follow those. Okay, because this sutram nahodha has already come in the daily examples. So 8234 nahodha. So make it dhakara. Okay, what's the next step now? What do you think? What do you think, Karthik? Next step?
Jalam Jashwante?
Jalam Jashwante should come now because that will be 8239. Again, appreciate the Ashtadhyayi order. They have beautifully Pani puts the Ashtadhyayi rules. I mean, this Tripadi order, I should say, more important, Tripadi order. This is really a great specimen of human intelligence, is the Tripadi. This is fantastic how they put these rules that, one doesn't see the other. This order is very critical. So, Upanad Charma, correct?
Right.
So, Jalam Jashwante. What's the next step now?
And then
Toshchunashchu.
no,
Toshchunashchu will correct? No? What do you think?
No.
Yes. Yes, why not?
Upanat,
Become Upanaj.
Upanaj.
Correct. And then come, what's the last step now?
Vyapchatvam.
So, Kharicha.
Karicha, right.
Yeah, so finally
Right.
we made to the end of this. So 8440, Toshchunashchu, and then comes Kharicha. This is, of course, these are all, Sandhi rules, nothing to do with compounds, but good to practice with Upanad Charma. So yeah, see how the Sandhi rules are, so, everywhere we need the Upanad Charma. So one more time, is Upanahe Charma, thank you. Upanahe Charma, so we take Upana plus, this Hakarana Prajipadikkam plus Ne, Charma plus Su. So compounding is done by the Sutram, Tadarthartha Bali Hita Sukarakshitaihe, and Chaturthi is Pathamadrishtam, then Pathamadrishtam Samasa Upasajanam Purvam, Pratipadika Sanya, Kutis Samasascha, Supodhatu Pradipikayoho, then bring the Supratyaya when you do the decline Pratipadikam, because Nya Pratipadikat 411 Pratipadikam cannot be used until you bring in the Suavjas. Because Nya Pratipadikas Adhikara from 411 is Nitya Karyam. Suavjas is Nitya Karyam that you have, so we have to decline it. So, and then Paravalingam, Dvanda Tatpurushayoho, Paravalingam, so Napumsakalinga Pratipadikam, then we do Samo Napunsakar Luksya. So Su goes. Meanwhile, what happens is that this entire thing gets the Padasanya because of the Suptingantam Padam, Pratyelope Pratyalakshanam Suptingantam Padam. So that one is coming here. Maybe you can put that one over here also, is the Pratyelope Pratyalakshanam Suptingantam Padam. Pratyelope Pratyalakshanam Suptingantam Padam. Suptingantam Padam. Suptingantam Padam. And then Nolopa Pradipadikantasya, and then get Nahodhaha, Dakaradeshaha, Abhya, the Jalam Jashonte, Dakaradeshaha, Sposhunashchu, Jakaradeshaha, and then Karicha, Upana Charma. Okay, we come to the book because we get Upana Charma, and then noun is dative can be compounded with the purpose. With the purpose can form a compound with the following: Artha, Bali, Hita, Sukha, Rakshita. It gives this Vartikam down here. Compound with Artha, Nitya Samasas, and they are Visheshalingata. Okay, sorry, yes, thank you, Indu. 8455, yes, sorry, going too fast. 8455, thank you. Kharicha, 8455, Kharicha. Okay, thank you. Yeah, please keep an eye on the board. If something is wrong, please, thank you, Indu. Please let me know. Okay, then compound with Artha, Nitya Samasas, and the Visheshalingatacha. So Balartham Annam. The typo here should be Annam. Should be Virama here. Balartham Annam. So Balaya Idam. That's the bigger vakyam. Balaya Idam. Athva Balebhyo Idam. Doesn't have to be Ekvachanam. Could be Dvivachanam, Bahuvachanam also. So Balaya Idam. So Balabhyam Idam. Balebhyo Idam. Annam. Then garland for the girl is Kanyartha, Mala, etc. Okay. So that is the Nitya Samasa. Kanyayai. Kanyayai Mala, Kanyartha Mala. So that is the only single sutram for Chatushi Tatpurusha. It's kind of a limited scope for that one. Now Panchami Tatpurusha, we have basically, here only two rules have been covered over here. Let's go to our document. Panchami Tatpurusha is I think I put it in the wrong place, is it? Okay. Okay, Panchami Tatpurusha. Panchami Bhayena Chorad Bhayam. If you look at the Siddhanta Kaumudi, 1 second, Panchami Bhayena. Says is Spashtam, Chorad Bhayam. So the Panchamyantam can be some Bhaya Shabdena, Saha Samaschate, Sahava Samaschate, Tatpurusha Bhavati. Chorad Bhayam, Chora Bhayam. There's a Vartikam on this here. So something which ending in the Panchami Vibhakti can be compounded with the single word Bhayam. So Bhayena. So Chorad Bhayam, which is fear from the thief, Chorad Bhayam. Then the Vartikam says Bhaya Bhita Bhiti Bhibhir iti Vachyam. Not only so Katyana says not only the word Bhayam, but also the word Bhitaha. So then Bhitihi and Bhihi. Now Bhitihi is a feminine noun which also means fear. Bhihi is also is a feminine noun which means fear, and Bhitaha is an adjective, somebody who's afraid. So it says Vrikabhitihi Vrikabhihi, so which is fear from the wolf. Vrikabhitihi Vrikabhihi. This is extends at this sutram, so not only the word Bhaya, but also these Bhita, Bhitihi and Bhihi. The Bhita is also Paravalingam in every case, because Bhihi is so Bhiti is a feminine noun, Bhi is a feminine noun, and then Bhita is an adjective. So we'll have to come over here and say, this is straightforward. For Chora plus Nyasi and Bhaya plus Su, as usual, do the Sutram Panchami Bhayena, Prathama Nidishtam, Samaso Pasajanam Purvam, Pratipadika Sanya, Tatita Samasa, Supodhata Padividikayoha, Supluk, then, decline it, so just, etc., and then comes the Paravalingam Dhanatatrushayoho Ato decline like one basically. Ato Apavada for Samanupumsakat, so it takes the Ammadesha Amipurvaha. So becomes Chora Bhayam, very straightforward. Vrika Bhayam, Chora Bhayam, Roga Bhayam, so on and so forth. Vyakarna Bhayam, etc. Dasya Bhayam, so fear from thieves, Roga Bhayam, all these are like that. And then the Vartikam is Bhaya Bhita, Bhiti, Bhibhiriti Vachyam, Vrika Bhitaha. We can Devadatta, somebody who is afraid of the wolf. So Devadatta, always Paravalingam. You have to find out what is the lingam of the Uttara Padam. In this case, it is an adjective. So, okay. So Devadatta, Vrikabhiti, same thing. Fear from a wolf. Vrikabhihi. Okay. That is one sutram over here, which is this one. Panchami Bhayena. Panchami Bhayena. So this is one, and then comes the next one. Apetapodha mukta patitta patrastairalpashaha. So these certain words, which is again, let's go to the okay. Now which one? Okay. Says that there is a Vartikam on this 2137 in the Kashika. Basically, Kashika wants to extend this sutram. So it says Purvasyevayam bahula grahanasya prapanchaha. So it says Tathacha grama nirgataha adharma jugupsuhu ityevam adi siddham bhavati. So what is this Kashika talking about? Is the yes, Purvasyavayam. Yeah, so 2137 is this Vartikam, which means that this sutram is really a prapanchaha, means only an elaboration what has been said before. Purvasya eva ayam bahula grahanasya prapanchaha. Okay, look at the Ashtadhyayi order now. In the Ashtadhyayi, we saw this sutram which says the bahulam. So this, then why does Panini have to say Panchami Bhayena? Just you could have said Panchami only could have been said. Because Panchami compounds in many ways, variety of ways, with Samarthena, Subantena, Samasva, Samasyate. So Kashika is saying this is only a prapanchaha, only an elaboration of what has already been conveyed by Bahulam before. So not only the word Bhayam, but others can also compound. So what he says is that grama nirgataha, so one who has grama nirgataha, one who has exited, one who has left the village, one who has come out of the village. So now there is no way to form this compound given what Panini has given. So basically the anuvritti of Bahulam, bring it down into this sutram. I think in the book, he has mentioned that. Let's go to the book. A noun in the ablative can be compound with Bhaya, Bhita, Bhiti, we got that. And then the noun in the ablative can form a compound with Nirgata and Jugupti. Not only these two, but this is only a sample of, Panchamis can compound. This is what I was talking about Yoga Vibhaga. The same thing. I mean, basically, Kashika is bringing in the anuvritti of Bahulam from 2132. See, when we have a Vyakhyanam like this in the Kashika or the Bhashyam or the Kaumudi or whatever, Kayyataha or Tattabodhini, then we can use that. So if you see a Panchami Antam being compounded with something which doesn't fit in these three rules, then one way to justify it is bring the Bahulam from down here. So that is what the Vyakhyanam in Kashika says is Purvasya eva ayam bahula grahanasya prapanchaha. So this sutram Panchami Bhayena is only elaborating, which has been already been conveyed by the word Bahulam, which came back in the prior sutram, which is this one over here, which is Katrikarane Krita Bahulam. So that is used to justify compounds like the Grama Nirgataha. So Grama Nirgataha, Adharma Jugupsuhu. So one who is disgusted with Adharmaha. So Adharmat Jugupsuhu. Now in Adharma Jugupsuhu, how do you form the Panchami itself? we look at there's a Vartikam on 1424, Sutram 1424. There is the 1424 is what it is in the section of called Karke. It says Dhruvamapaye Apadanam, where Pani defined what is Apadanam. In that there is a Vartikam. So Dhruvamapaye means something from a fixed point. When something moves away from a fixed point, that is the Apadana Sanya. That's the point from which something moves. Like Ashvat Padati, from the horse he falls. That is what's called as the Apadanam by Panini. Dhruvamapaye Padanam. But then under 1424 there is a Vartikam. The Apadana Sanya also comes for certain other things. So there the word, I think Jugupsa is mentioned in that sutram. So now we are going to the section which defines the Apadana Sanya. And then of course once we get the Apadana Sanya, then we can go to the 2.3 to get the Panchami. So Panchami Apadane. So it will come in this section, will be somewhere here. So Panchami Apang Parabhi Chaturthi Sampradane Krita Sahayata Samyoga Uvarge Titiya Panchami Heto Shashti Hetu Prayoge Shashti Upadarada Shashti Anadare Panchami Vibhakte Apadane Panchami. Let me check the number here. So that's the two-step process. The Panini first defines the Apadane Panchami. Sorry, 2.3.28 Apadane Panchami. So by 1.4.24, Panini defines the Apadana Karaka Sanya. And then by 2.3.28 Apadane Panchami. Now, so under that 1.4.24 is a Vartikam, which says that Jugupsa Virama Pramadarthana Upasankhyanam. So that from which you are disgusted, or you can say Adharmad Jugupsate, Adharmad Viramati. So he desists, he stops. So he desists, he turns away from Adharma. Pramadhyati, Dharmat Pramadhyati. So he fails in following Dharma, Pramadhyati. Dharmat Pramadhyati. So in this word Jugupsa, Virama and Pramadarthanam. So this is 1.4.24. This is a sutram which is required to make the Panchami from Jugupsa. So now so Adharmat Jugupsate. Now this compound could not have been formed simply by using the sutram Panchami Bhayena. So that is why we talked about Yoga Vibhagaha, but Kashika says bring in Bahulam from the sutram Viskatyakarane Krita Bahulam and then form this kind of a compound. This is another way of justifying these Panchami Tatpurusha compounds which cannot be justified from this one. So 1.4.24, in fact if you look at the meaning, let's see what Vastu gives for 1.4.24. 1.4.24 Vartikam says is that the objects were denoting aversion, that is Jugupsa. So cessation, Viramaha, and negligence, neglects Dharma, Dharma Pramadhyati, Adharma Jugupsate, dislikes, disgusted with Adharma, Adharma Viramati, he desists from Adharma. Okay, so that is the what is in the book in this point number B on page 125. Now the ablative can be from a compound not just with these two, but similar words which you can Shishtapraga if you see, and bring the Bahulam as Anuvatti. So Purvasyevayam Bahulagranasya Prapanchaha Tathacha Grama Nirgataha Adharma Jugupsu Ityavadi Siddham Bhavati. This word Japho Jugupsu, this word not to go in details, but this is not today's topic, but this Pratyaya, the sun Pratyaya is being used here by 315 Sanadhyanta Dhatavaha. So Sutram 315 Guptij Kidbhyas San. So this sun is being used from that Sutram 315, and then from after that we have the Upratyaya which is being used to form an adjective which is Sanasham Sabhiksha Uhu. You get the word. This is how to form the word Jugupsi I'm talking about, Jugupsu. So okay. So now the last point is that 2.138, even here in the book there's a bit of a problem I think in the book. He says a noun in the ablative can form a compound with the following passive participles: apeta, upodha, mukta, patita, apatrasta. avoid the action. This last part I'm not sure about. Okay, the action signified be gradual. See, that I don't know. I don't know where he got that from. Okay, let's go to the sutram. Let's go to the sutram and see what the sutram says. Let's go to the Siddhanta Kaumudi. Says apetapo. This is a typo here. Apetapodha mukta should be apodha. Apetapodha mukta patitapatrastair alpasha. Also a typo here also. Patitapatrastair alpashaha. So sutram is 2138. 2138. Let's read without the typos. Let's read the sutram without the typos. 2138. 2138 is apetapodha mukta patitapatrastair alpashaha. What are the vyakhyanams here on this one? Is etaihi saha alpam panchamyantam samasyate tatpurushaha. What is alpam panchamyartham? Na sarvam. Alpam means only a few. So etaihi. So with these words, with the word apeta, so the apeta, apodha. So with these words, it compound. Is there a typo here also? Give me 1 second, okay? There was I think the typo in the book or typo in this. Okay, so panchami bhayena. So apeta apodha. I think there's a typo in the book here also. I think it should be. I think it's put opo. I think it should be ape. I think this one is the typo. Apeta, then it should be apodha. Okay, so correct this one also. Apodha. So apeta, apodha, mukta, patita, apatrasta. These are the ones. So apeta, apodha, mukta, patita, apatrasta. So these are the 5. This should be apodha, mukta, patita, apatrasta. Okay, so this sutram is 2138. Apeta, apodha. Apeta, apodha. Apeta, apodha, mukta, patita, apatrastair alpashaha. Okay, so alpashaha means, see the way he has, Bhattoji has commented on that, is that he says is that alpam samasyate. Alpam panchamyantam samasya. Not every panchamyantam will compound with this. Only some of them will. Only few. So few of these will compound. So sukha petaha. So divide of that, kalpana podha. If you, in fact, in this book by Charudev Shastri ji, he gives good meaning of this. I can read you from that. Gives a nice meaning. So let me, from the Panchamyantam, this is what Charudev Shastri ji gives that a word with the 5th case is optionally compounded with apeta. Apodha means removed, mukta means free, patita means fallen, patrasta means scared away. By alpashaha is meant that the panchamyanta words, all and sundry, are not compounded with apeta, etc. Only a few are compounded. Again, shishta prayoga is the key over here. Sukhad apetaha, bereft of comfort. Kalpanayaha apodha. Actually, if you want to quickly go to the steps, nothing special in the steps. Same old. You can say sukhad apetaha. So, okay, I didn't put the steps. Okay. Steps are straightforward. You can take, sukha plus, you can take the same steps as over here. So sukha plus nyasi, and the apeta plus su. Again, do prathamanidishtam samasa upasajam purvam, kutrita samasascha, then supluk. You can make sukha plus apeta, and then finally you do the akasami dirgha, sukha apetaha. So sukha apetaha is the one who's bereft, sukhada peta, bereft of. So apa ita is, the ingatau. So apa plus ita means gone away, bereft of comfort. Kalpanaya apodhaha, transcending imagination, apodhaha, beyond imagination. Chakran muktaha, chakra muktaha, this is free from, so kind of saved from the wheel. Sargad patitaha, sarga patitaha, has come down from heaven. Sarangebhyo apatrastaha, saranga apatrastaha is shy of the waves, so away from the waves, fighting shy of the waves. So these are various kinds of compounds that can be formed with apeta, apodha, mukta, patita, apatrasta, these words. So now, alpasha iti kim prasadat patitaha. So this word is not in usage. So this prasadat patitaha is not away. But so he says bhojanad apatrastaha, shying away from eating, so shying away from, shrinking away from his food. There's no compounding in these kinds of words. Okay, let me see. Yes, in
Satishji, patitaha is also used in that dvitiya shrita tita patita, right?
Yeah, but in what meaning though, right?
So it will be dependent on the meaning and the shishta prayoga, yeah?
Yes, this meaning.
meaning.
That's correct. So kupam patita is correct. But this is, kupam patita means he has fallen in the well, right?
Right.
But here is when he says swarga patitaha, means swargat patitaha.
Swargat patitaha.
So he has fallen from. So mood says this is panchami, right? So he's fallen away from that.
Right.
Fallen away from heaven. Yeah. So in that patita,
Right.
and there he didn't point at that point in that sutram Dvitiya. So Panini never said Alpasha anything. So there technically we can use any in Dvitiyantam to compound with patita in that sutram.
Okay.
Here when he says Swargat,
Here it is restricted, yeah.
yeah, restricted. Now that is why in the textbook I don't know what he means by this gradual. This one I don't know where he's getting this from, to be honest with you. Gradual and not sudden. Now Swarga Patita is pretty sudden, right? Swarga Patitaha. So I don't know. Maybe the way that he's taking it here, Alpashaha, I think it will be interpreted by Antoine as Shanai Shanaihi, Akasna Akasmat, not sudden. So I don't know. This I have not seen this Vyakhyanam. This Vyakhyanam is somewhere which he's taking from, which I'm not aware of. If you look at the Kaumudi Vyakhyanam, it says Alpashayati kim prasadat patitaha. So yes, you might take this, okay, if you say, he has fallen from the palace, so from the prasadat patitaha. But then if you say Swarga patitaha, also quite sudden, right? So I don't know that we can use that one. So in fact, you look at clearly it says in the book here is that not all and sundry will compound, but only a few will compound. So alpam. And even the Kaumudi Vyakhyanam, alpam pancham dantam. So he didn't say, shanai shanaihi, or didn't say anything like that. So it says alpam pancham na sarvam, alpam pancham yantam. Only a few will compound. So this one in the book, Chintanyamidam, I don't know why that is in the book. So put maybe like a question mark here. I think it means that only few will compound, all will not compound. That's at least that's the parampara Vyakhyanam. This one is something new, which maybe is taken from somewhere else. I didn't find in the Kaumudi or Kashika. This one is not there. Okay, so that's the Panchami Tatpurushaha. Now comes Shashti. All right, Shashti is interesting thing. It is. Let's start and see how far we can get today. Right in the beginning, let me tell you one thing about Shashti. Shashti, the difficult thing about Shashti is that when does the Shashti not compound? So Shashti na samasyate. That is going to be the difficult part of Shashti. Otherwise, the first sutram is very straightforward. Sutram itself is just Shashti. So Shashti is prathama nirdishtam. So Shashti, samarthena subantena sahava samasyate. Tatpurusha samaso bhavati. Tatpurusha samaso bhavati. It's very straightforward. So Shashtyantam will compound with the subantam which has sambandha with that. So simple straightforward compound, Rajnya Purusha, Raja Purusha, just like Tatpurusha, right? The word Tatpurusha itself is a Shashti Tatpurusha. Tasya Purusha Tatpurusha. So steps also are straightforward, Rajan plus Myas, Purusha plus Su. Usual Prathama Nidishtam is, so this is a Prathama Nidishtam in the Sutram. And then, Pusajanam Purvam, Supluk, and then, of course, we can Paravalingam, Tatpurushayoho, all the same old steps. Then do Rutta Visargao, and then this Nakara of Rajan is Padanta Nakara because of Pratyay Lope, Pratyay Lakshanam, Suptingantam Padam, and do Nalava Pralibadikantasya. Okay, so that is what we get. Now, yes, so 827 applies, and then we also apply the Rutta Visargao, we can do that. Now, so what's nothing very difficult, but now comes the difficult part. Let's go to Kaumudi for a second, and let's see what, because Shashti didn't even, it's Spashtam. There's no Vyakhyanam. When the Kaumudi doesn't comment, means it's Spashtam. Spashtam. The good thing about Kashika is that Kashika comments on every sutram almost, every sutram. But Bhattoji is less kind. He says Spashtam. which means that you don't need to comment on this one. So if you can look at the Kashika Vyakhyanam, so Kashika will give also in Bhattaji, also in Siddhanta Kaumudi, he might say Pragvat, just as before. Kashika will not say that. Kashika will not say Pragvat. So it says Shashtyantam Subantam Samarthena Subantena Sah Samasyate Tatpurushascha Samaso Bhavati. So Kashika is very kind for us. It's Shashtyantam Subantam, because Supa, right? Samarthena Subantena Sah Samasyate Tatpurushascha Samaso Bhavati. Rajnya Purushaha Raja Purushaha. Brahmana Kambalaha. So the blanket of a Brahmana, Brahmana Kambalaha. Okay, now comes the difficult part. So Klishtata, the Klishtata. Let me warn you in the beginning itself that this part is a little bit controversial, okay? And there are some different points of view over here. But I'll give you as is there in the Kashika and the Siddhanta Kaumudi. I'll give you that. And this is not in the book, by the way. This part is not in the book. So what you're going to do for the next 15, 20 minutes, this whole thing is not in the book. This one is not in the book up to here. In the book, he has taken the Ekadeshi Samasaha. That's not a Satpurush. That's actually Shashti Apavadaha. So in the book, what has been given, so part A is this one we just saw, Shashti. Now part B and C is what's called as there's a typo here. Please correct that. It should be Ekadeshi Samasaha. If you make it as Samastam Padam, or I guess you can keep it Pruthak Padam. Okay, you know what? It's okay, I think, because Ekadeshin he has made it. Okay, you can leave it as it is, because Ekadeshin Pradipadikam. So he has declined that. So Ekadeshi Samasa. Okay, leave it as it is. I'm sorry. This one I think I was taking as the Ekadeshi Samasa as Samastam Padam, but Ekadeshi Samasa, he has declined it here. This is Prathama Ekvachanam qualifying Samasa. Okay. So we can leave this as it is. It's Ekadeshin Pradipadikam. So Saucha Sutram. Coming Dirgha, Upada Dirgha. So Ekadeshi Samasa. Pruthak Padam, make it as a compound, become Ekadeshi Samasaha. Okay, so this part B and part C is this Ekadeshi Samasaha, which is not really, it is an Apavadaha for Shashti Tatpurushaha. So we'll leave, so this part we will come back, after we talk about this part over here. So this one is not in the Antoine book, so if you want, you can ignore it. But it's a very important thing is that when does the Shashti not compound? When does the Shashti not compound? So if you look at Ashtadhyayi, what Panini has done is that he gives the Sutram Shashti, looks like a blank check to make a Purusha, but then quickly he says, Na Nirdharane. Then so Panini has 7 rules here. Shashti will not form a compound. So na anuvritti, this is Nisheda Sutram. Obviously, you see na in a Sutram, Nisheda Sutram. This is Nisheda for this Shashti. So Shashti will not compound. So Panini has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rules. Then he says Nityam is another. So that's Nisheda only up to here. Let's look at this one in the class today. Look at this one in the class today. Look at this one. We'll not look at all 7 of them. We'll take 2 or 3 of them. Again, this is not in the Antoine book, but this is a very important topic. Otherwise, the Shutram Shashti is straightforward. Nothing special about that. Just form a compound, you're done. Okay, so let's go to this Nishedha. Okay, and this one here, this Yajakadibhyascha, what this is that some Nishedha was praptaha. Because why do we need the Sutram Yajakadibhyascha? And Panini already has said Shashti, as Samanya Vidhanam already has been done here. Then why do we need Yajakadibhyascha? These also Shashti. Shashti can compound with these. So what this Yajakadi is saying is that Shashti can compound with these. Let's see what comes. So let's tackle this one first. Is why do we need the Sutram Yajakadi? Because Shashti iti Samanya Vidhanam Kritam Purameva. So then what does Bhattoji say on that? He says that Ebhi Shashtyantam Samasyate. He says Tujakabhyam Kartari Ityasya Prati Prasavo Ayam. This is a counter exception. Prati Prasavaha. Prati Prasavaha is counter exception. Prati Prasavaha. This is an interesting word. Prati Prasu is to kind of produce it. So Prati Prasavaha is counter exception. So Prasavaha and Prati Prasavaha. So now what he's saying is that there will be a Nishedha coming. Trijjakabhyam Kartari Nishedha. So this one is what is down here. Trijjakabhyam Kartari. So when this Trich and Aka are used Kartari, they don't form a compound with the Shashtyantam Padam. So that Nishedha would have stopped a compound like Brahmana Yajakaha, one who performs sacrifices, or one who does, rituals for Brahmana, Brahmana Yajaka, Brahmana Nam Yajaka, Brahmana Yajakaha. So that is why this one is anticipating. Yajaka Adibhya is basically anticipating these Nishedas coming down here. Otherwise, you don't need this sutram. So when you can form a compound like Brahmana Yajakaha because of this Vishesha Vidhana. If this sutram were not to be there, then this Nisheda would have come. Trijaka Kartari would have stopped this compound, this ending in Aka. We'll come to this in a second. We'll come to this later on. So now you know why this Panini has put this sutram, because as Bhattoji says, this is the Prati Prasavaha. It's a counter exception to what is coming later on. So Nisha is going to come Brahmana Yajakaha, then Deva Pujakaha. So this is the Yajaka Ganaha. Okay, let's go to document, see what we can do here. Na Nirdharane. The first thing Panini starts, Na Nirdharane. Okay, so what is Na Nirdharane? So again, they said these two sections of compounding and the Vibhakti Vidhanam, they're connected to each other, okay? So when you have to, of course, the fact that compounding is being stopped means that in the first place, Shashti Vibhakti is possible, then only there's a question of stopping compounding. The Shashti evan vidhiyate, tarhi samasa nishedha vyarthasyat. If there's no Shashti, then why which sutram? So kena sutram Shashti vidhiyate, iti prashtavyam. So why which sutram? So there it is yatasya nirdharanam. So we have to look at, so before even coming to compound, we have to master this 2.3. 2.3 has to be understood clearly. Well, where all Shashti or whatever Titya, anything is possible, then only we can think of compounding. So here in the Ashwini Saptami section, Panini talks about the yatasya nirdharanam here. So let's look at 2.3.41. Again, this is a Saptami Athva Shashti Vibhakti Vidhayaka Sutram. This is not a Samas Vidhayaka Sutram, because look at the number 2.3.41, Tasya Nirdharanam. And in that 2.3.41, you can quickly look at the vritti for that. So Nirdharanam is a Shashti which is prescribed by this Sutram. Shashti Saptamyo Vartete. Is the typo here, should Vartete. Shashti and Saptami are Anuvritti is coming, says the Jati Guna Kriya bhi Samudayad Ekadeshasya Pruthak Karanam. A lot of typos here. Pruthak Karanam Nirdharanam. So from a Samudaya, based on the Jati Guna or Kriya, based on the genus or the quality or the action, something when you distinguish one item from a group, Samudayad Ekadeshasya, one part, Pruthak Karanam Nirdharanam. So yato nirdharanam tata shashti saptamyo vibhakti bhavataha. So that samudaya from which something is being distinguished, being singled out, that samudaya will take shashti or saptami. Manushyanam kshatriyaha shuratamaha. So among men, manushyanam madhye, among men, kshatriya is the most he is the bravest among men. So kshatriyeshu kshatriya shuratamaha, and so on. So this is the Shashti. This Shashti will not compound. So when you say an example here is that what Panini says is that when he talks about no nirdharane, so nirdharane would put a reference here 2.3.41. Yatasya nirdharanam. So reference here is to 2.3.41. 2.3.41. Yatasya nirdharanam. So the Shashti vidhanam, which is done by this one, of course, this is optional. I mean, Shashti Saptami also can be used. So Yatasya Nirdharanam, when that Shashti will not compound. So he says, Ya Shashti Nirdharane Sana Samasyate Manushyanam Kshatriya Shuratamaha. So between Manushya and the Kshatriya, there will be no compounding. You cannot say Manushya Kshatriya. You cannot say compounding. But then how come we have Purushottamaha? Purushottama Yoga, chapter 15 of Gita, right? Purushanam Uttamaha, Purushottamaha. This is allowed because this is not a Nirdharani Shashti, Sambandha Shashti. How come this one is not, this is Nirdharani, and how come this is Sambandha Shashti? What is the distinction? So in the Mahabhashyam, in the Mahabhashyam, there is a commentary by Kayyata Acharya. Kayyata Acharya has written what's called a Pradeepa, Bhashya Pradeepa, or just, Pradeepa. This is, in fact, thanks to Kayyata Acharya that we can read the Mahabhashyam today. Without him, probably the Mahabhashyam may have even been lost because it's a difficult text. So the Mahabhashyam and Kayyata are almost identified with each other now. It has come to that. It is almost like that. Anyway, in that, the Kayyata Acharya makes the following statement. In the Sutram 5.3.457, which is not today's topic, this is the Tadita Vidha, in Tadita section. In that, Kayyata makes this following comment is Yasman nirdharyate. So that's Samudaya from which Ekadesha nirdharyate. So the Samudaya from which something is singled out. Yaschaikadesha, the single item which is coming out as which is being singled out. This is the second condition. Yaschaikadesho nirdharyate. Yascha nirdharana hetuhu. This is also important. Nirdharana hetuhu. Etat tritaya sannidhane sati eva ayam nishedha. So this nishedha, no nirdharane, is only valid when we have these two elements, these three elements present. So etat tritaya means it's a group of three. Etat tritaya sannidhane sati eva. So only when these three are present. What are those three? One more time. Is that yasma nirdharyate. So that from which samudaya from which something is based. So samudaya should be there. Which is there? You have here manushyanam and you have the purushanam. So that we have there. Then it says yascha ekadeshaha. So ekadeshaha. So in this case we had kshatriyaha. So here we have uttamaha. But so we have shuratamaha, uttamaha. But kshatriya was not. That completely was missing here. So yascha nidharana hetuhu. So shuratamaha. In fact, I should have done this one. Yascha ekadesho nirdharyate. So we say purushanam. You can say ramaha, uttamaha if you say it like that. Then there will be no compounding between. You cannot say purusha ramaha. Okay, so if you say purushanam ramaha uttamaha, there will be no. Even though purushanam rama, there is the shashti vidhanam is there. You cannot say purusha ramaha. So yascha ekadesho nirdharyate. That should also be there. So this maybe I can take this out one here. So that one's only when these three are present. Then only etat tritaya sannidhane sati eva ayam nishedha. Nishedha nirdharane. So that's why this one, when all three are present like that, this will not, basically this one will not compound with the kshatriya. Manushya kshatriya cannot do. But you can say purushottamaha can be done, purushana uttamaha, purushottamaha, but not manushya kshatriya, you cannot do the compound. This is one sutra. This is na nirdharane. Nirdharane shashti na samasyate. But remember this vyakyanam by Kayyataha, we say yasma nirdharyate, yaschaika desho nirdharyate, and then yascha nirdharana hetuhu, etat tritaya sannidhane sati evayam nishedha iti. Sutre Kayyataha. Okay? Now, that's just a warm-up for us. Now comes the difficult part. With this, Katyayana puts a vartikam on this. He says, Pratipada vidhana shashthina samasyate iti vachyam. So Katyayana says, Pratipada vidhana. What is Pratipada vidhanam? This is a technical term which we should know in Vyakaranam. Pratipada vidhanam. Pratipada vidhanam. Pratipada vidhanam means which is, in fact, I can read from Tattvabodhini for you, if you give me a second. He also defines what is Pratipada vidhana, shashthina samasyate. So, okay, na nidharane, okay, shashti na nidharane. Padam pratibhita, Pratipada vidhana, which is specifically for certain words, certain verbs, or certain things. Not generally. Which is specific shashti, specific to certain terms. That's shashti. If you look at, if you can read also from Professor Abhyankar's dictionary, all these technical terms, please look at Abhyankar's book, very nice book. I like this book more because Professor Abhyankar had a very tragic death. Anyway, that's a different story. But at least we can read his book that we can use. Pratipada vidhanam, I'm on page 262. is express the statement by definite wording. So this is, like a specific or definite wording. So now what is that Pratipada Vidhana Shashti now in our context? Which one are we talking about? Clearly it's not Shashti Sheshe. Clearly it's not that one. There's no Pratipada Vidhanam there. There's no specific statement because it says, Sheshe is all that Panini said. But then after that, in fact, in Tattvabodhini, it says, Shashti Sheshe iti vihaya. So barring the sutram Shashti Sheshe, anyena, by any other sutram, starting from this one, which is 2.351, Nyo vidarthasya, no vidarthasya, nyo vidarthasya, avidarthasya, nyo vidarthasya, ityadina vihita sarvaiva shashti ityarthaha. So barring this sutram, again, what are we doing here? We are looking at the Vartikam, which is telling us that Pratipada Vidhana Shashtina Samasyate. We're trying to find out what is Pratipada Vidhana Shashti. Pratipada Vidhana Shashti means Shashti which is specifically or which is ordained by some definite wording. So, and the Tattvabodhini makes it clear that this Shashti is talking about any Shashti, barring this one Shashti Sheshe. Shashti Sheshe. So this Nyo Vidarthasya Karane, starting from here, all these Shashtis are considered to be Pratipada Vidhana Shashti. Pratipada Vidhana Shashti. So none of these can compound now. So now we have a problem. Because if any Shashti is done by any of these rules, we cannot compound. So only the Shashti Sheshe, which can compound. Then what about this one? Then why do we need Nidharane? Why do we need this rule then, which we just saw right now? So Nidharane. Why do we need that one then? Because that Shashti was not in this section. That Shashti Vidhana was coming back here. This is the Yatashti Vidhana was coming back here. It was not in the section of this from this Nyo Vidarthasya from down here. That Shashti was coming back here. So that was not this part of this section. So that was also required to stop this Shashti from Yatashti Nirdharanam. Okay, let's look at Kaumudi. Again, all this is not in the book, so take it for if you want as for what it is. So this one it says Pratipadi Vidhana Shashti na Samasyate. Typo, this should be Shashti. Shashti na Samasyate. And then he gives example from this 2.351, which is not a very common example. So let's continue with this one. So as a general rule, Shashti, which is specifically or definitely ordained by the rules 2.351 onward, does not compound. Okay, but then we have a problem because we do want some of the Shashtis to compound. If you remove all of them, Pratipadi Vidhana Shashti na Samasyate, then some Shishta Prayogas are there, some Ishta Prayogas are there, which we need. So then Katyayana comes back and he says that Krudyoga cha Shashti Samasyate iti Vachyam. So, but no, Krudyoga Shashti Samasyate. That one is, we need that one. So what is Krudyoga Shashti? Krudyoga Shashti referred to Sutram 2.365, Karmanoho Kriti. Karmanoho Kriti. Example given here is that, so when the Krit Pratyaya has been used, then the Kartru or the Karma will take Shashti Vibhakti. Of course, this one, again, this is not today's topic really, but this Kartakarmanoha Kriti has a very important apavadaha, which is, as we have seen, is this one, which is 2.369. Naloka Vyaya Nishtha Kalathatranam. So we can say, Ramam Drashtum Agachati, he comes to see Ramaha. If you take this one as Kartakarmanoha Kriti, the Drashtum is a Krit Pratyaya. So how can we say Ramam Drashtum Agachati? Because then we are stuck with Shashti. But then this says, this 2.369 comes and says Avyaya, Lakara like the Shatru Shanach, then Uka Avyaya, Nishtha. For example, Ramaha Vanangachati. We don't say sorry, Ramaha Vanangataha. So Gata, clearly Krit Pratyaya has been used over there. So if you take Kartakarmanoha Kriti, then Shashti Syat. You should say Ramaha Vanasya Gataha. Vanasya Gataha, not Vanangataha. So to stop that, we have this Nisheda Sutram over here. So there is, even though this looks to be a very dangerous rule, because Kartakarmanoha Kriti, any Krit Pratyaya which is used, then with the Kartru or the Karma, Shashti has to be used. But that is a very big apavada for this one over here. Anyway, that is not today's topic. That is the yes, sir.
Yeah, Brahma Jignasa Karta Karmano Kriti, right?
Yes, Brahma Jidnyasa, right. So Brahmana Jidnyasa. So there also the word, the U pratyaya has been. So this loka is la u uka. So no, you're saying Jidnyasa you're talking. Right? Is that what you're talking about? So you can Brahma Jidnyasu, right? The one Brahma Jidnyasu which you have.
Jignasa Atato Brahma Jignasa, Brahma Sutram 1.
Yeah, one sutra, Atha Brahma Jidnyasa. What kind of sutram is that? So now Jidnyasa. That is what kind of is it the karta karma that Brahma Jidnyasa Nishtha Kartattanam? What do you think, Karthik, of that one? Brahma Jidnyasa. So Jidnyasa Pratyastan. Yes, go ahead.
I'm not sure.
So will that come under this karta karmanoha kriti? Let's say what would be the vakyam of that?
Brahmano Jignasa, Brahma Jignasa.
Brahmana Jidnyasa, Brahma Jidnyasa. So then Shashti is fine over there, right? So what's the question? I'm sorry. What's the question that you're asking?
I thought Karta Karmano Kriti is given as an example. Brahma Jignasa is given for that explanation. Karta Karmano Kriti is invoked there.
Oh, okay. You're giving an example for that. You're giving.
Yeah.
Is this what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So Brahmana Jidnyasa, Brahma Jidnyasa. I think that can work because the word Jidnyasa, right? The Krit Pratyaya has been, the feminine noun has been formed with that, but the feminine noun has been formed. So Brahmana Jidnyasa, Brahma Jidnyasa. So that Shashti will also compound. So even though this Shashti is in this section of the, Pratipati Vidhana Shashti it is, Nyo Vidarthasya. But still that will compound because the second Vartikam, which is the Krudyoga Shashti cha Samasyate. So Brahma Jidnyasa compound can be done, even though as Vasu is saying that the Shashti is by the Katkarmanoha Kriti. So the Krit Pratyaya has been used. But the Brahma Jidnyasa, you know how that word is formed, Jidnyasa is formed. This is a feminine noun, Jidnyasa. Jidnyasa is formed using this called apratyayat. If you want to form any feminine noun, right? So you can if it's any derived dhatu, you can apratyaya has been used. Apratyayat. Anyway, that's the side topic. So what Jidnyasa is formed from this. The word Jidnyasa is the dhatu. Jidnyasa is a dhatu. So nyatum ichchati jidnyasa. So again, the san pratyaya, to be careful because there are a lot of rules in the san pratyaya. San pratyaya we did in detail, right? So we have to watch out because in 1.3, Panini has a number of rules where he might say that in fact the one that if I remember correctly, again sorry for sidetracking. I know because I just made a statement that Jnyatum ichchati jidnyasati. I think if now see after we did it when we did this one, this san pratyaya. Okay, nya, see here it is. Nya shru smudrisham sanaha. Nya shru smudrisham sanaha. Sutram, we had done this sutram when we did. So it should be jidnyasate. So 1357. So nyatum ichchati equals jidnyasate 1357. 1357 is that one. So nya shru smudrishi iti ete sham sanantanam apanipadam bhavati. Something just stuck in my head, thinking of this sutram, which says, so nyatum ichchati jidnyasate. Here, jidnyasate. Anyway, okay. So, yeah. Okay, we'll take that example. We did that sutram.
We did that in chapter 18, page 106, actually. Jignasa.
Okay, thank you. So good. Vasu on top of it. That's very good. So this Krudyoga Shashti will compound. The example given in this Siddhantakam, idmasya vrashchanaha. So vrashcha is to kind of cut, so vrashchanaha. So vrashchanaha is this, we looked at this earlier in the class, pratyaya lyut has been used in the karanarthe. Karanarthe. We just talked about that in the class today. Is that lut is used napumsake bhave, taha napumsake in bhave. Because Karanadikaranayosha doesn't have to be napumsake. So as an instrument or as the the adhar, the substratum, the basis on which something takes place. So vrishchate chidyate anena iti vrashchanaha. Again, dhatu vrashcha is taking the samprasaranam, because if samprasaranam is by Sutram 6.1.16 over here, these are all side topics which you have studied, but grahijya, vayi, vyadhi, vashti, vrishchati. So vrishchati. So this takes samprasaranam. So the example in Kashika, in Siddhanta Kaumudi is idmasya, so fuel wood. Vrashchanaha is the idma I'm sorry, there's a typo here. Idma vrashchanaha. So idma vrashchanaha. Okay. So this was a Krudyoga Shashti. So it is something which cuts which chops the firewood like an axe or something like that. So now, if we just look at if we had just gone with the Katyayana's first Vartikam, which is Pratipada Vidhana Shashti na Samasyate, then this Shashti, this compound could not be formed. Could not be formed. Because here we have the Krudyoga, the Shashti, which is 2365, which is not Shashti Sheshe. So it's 2365. So we just said that any Shashti which is beyond 2351 onwards, that will not compound. So then we are stuck with the situation that 2365 Shashti also cannot compound. But we want it to compound. Yes, Indu has a question. Yes, Indu. Yes, Indu. Your mic is not working, Indu. I'll keep you unmuted. I think your hand is up.
Shouldn't it be Vrishchana?
No, there's no Samprasaranam here, because Samprasaranam only come because the Pratyaya Yak came over here.
Okay.
So that Samprasaranam only comes when there is Kiti Niti Pratyaya Pare.
Right.
So this Pratyaya is Lyut. So Idma Vrashchana. Is it a type? Is it a typo you think? The typo here?
Is it a Vrashcha or Vrashcha is my question.
Dhatu is Vrashcha. It takes Samprasaranam when the Pratyaya following is Kit or Nyat,
Right.
So here the Pratyaya is Lyut. So Vrashchanaha, there is no Samprasaranam over here. So when you form the compound,
it is Vrashchana.
Vrashchanaha, but when we do the Vigrahavakyam of Vrashchanaha, it becomes Vrishchate, Chidyate, Anineti, Vrashchanaha. So in this Vrishchate, the Pratyaya Yak has been used, Savadhatuke Yak, the passive.
So the Laukika Vigraha will be Vrashchana.
So no, this is a Samasa Vigrahavakyam, this one.
Okay.
But this is a Vigrahavakyam, Vigraha for the word Vrashchanaha itself.
For the Vrashchana. Okay.
So that's forming by this is the Karanarthe, Vrishchate, Chidyate, Anena. This is the Karanadikarana Yoscha, right? So that is this is one we use Karanarthe. So that by which something is cut this is the axe. So Kutaradi, which is something like an axe. So this is the Vigrahavakyam for the word Vrashchana itself is Karanarthe. And this is the passive form, Vrishchate. So that by which Anena. This is by which something is cut. Okay, so the Samprasaranam over here, because the Pratyaya Yak has been used, which is Kit Pratyaya, this is Lyut has been used, so there's no Samprasaranam here. So, so this Shashti, we need to compound this Shashti. Otherwise we had a problem. So now, but this creates other problems now. So now if we take it that, any of these Shashtis can compound, then what do we do? Before that, let's look at this next sutram, which says that, so let me just not lose track. Which is first thing we start with one is that this simple sutram Shashti was used, saying that Shashti can compound. Samarthena Subantena, Spashtam. After that, we said that there is the, Panini uses the next sutram, which he says, Yajakadibhyascha. So Yajakadibhyascha means that the Yajakadis can compound. So why do we need that? Because he's anticipating Nisheda which are coming. Which Nisheda was coming over here, coming down here, Trich and Ak. Yajakabhyam Kattari. So when these are used Kartari, they will not compound Shashti and Tam. But we want the word Yajaka, Pujaka to compound, so Panini puts this Vidhanam over here. Then we saw Nanidharanaya. There Katyayana put a Vartikam which says Patipada Vidhana Shashtina Samasyate. Patipada Vidhana means what? From 2351 onwards. 2351. So this is what Tattvabodhini said for us, is that Shashti Sheshe iti vihaya anyena means nyo vidarthasya. This is 2351. 2351 ityadina vihita sarvaiva shashti ityarthaha. Shashti ityarthaha. Okay, so this should be a visarga here. Let's correct some typos, and this is 2351. This is 2351. 2351. Okay. But then we want this Krudyoga Shashti to compound, so we came down here and it says Krudyoga Shashti Samasyati Vachyam. So then we got this idmasya praschanaha, idma praschanaha, vrashchanaha, sorry, idmasya vrashchanaha, idma vrashchanaha. So it's an axe which cuts firewood. So it is like wood. Now there's another Srisha Sutram which says Tenacha Pujayam. Okay, let's talk about this first. There's another complication here. Now, this kta pratyaya, if you look at the, we just looked at this one over here, when Panini said, karta karmanoho kriti. Under that, there is a nish, which I just talked about, Nishida Sutram, which is na lokavyaya, nishtha kalarthatranam. So, nishtha. So, which is the taktavatu nishtha, 1126, taktavatu nishtha. So then how come we can even have a Shashti with the Kta Pratyaya? Because this Sutram 2369 says that this Kta Pratyaya will not take Shashti with it. But then Panini has put on a Sutram is Kasyacha Vartamane. When the Kta Pratyaya used Vartamane, then Shashti is to be, can be used with that. Shashti is to be used with that. So so it's a three-step process, which is that Katakarmanoha Kriti would have done this Shashti. Then came the Nishedha, which na lokavya nishtha kalarthatvanam. So Shashti was stopped. But then again Shashti is put back tasya vartamane. So this is another Shashti which is coming over here. So that is also not required. We don't want that to compound either. So that should not be compound. So if we say Krudyoga Shashti Samasyate, then this will also start compounding now. Tasya vartamane. I hope you're following some of this logic. Is that first we said Pratipada Vidhana Shashti na Samasyate. So that stopped all Shashtis from here on to compound. Okay, all was stopped. Then second Vartikam point, Patin says this Shashti should compound. Krudyoga Shashti. This is also Krudyoga Shashti because this reason why it's meant separately word is this Kta Pratyaya is Krut Pratyaya, and here it was coming, Nishtha, this was a Nishedha was done, then Pani will put this one back, this will start compounding now. But we want to stop that. So then Pani puts a separate sutram for that. It says, Tenacha Pujayam. He says Pujayam, it's not just Pujayam, but Pani is referring to this last sutram in 232. In 3.2, I think it's 183 or something, the last sutram, which is when is the Kta Pratyaya used Vartamane. Is this one, 3.2.188. Mati Buddhi Pujarte Bhyascha. This is when the Pratyakta is used Vartamane, which is Mati Buddhi Pujarte Bhyascha. And that Vartamane Kta will take, with it will take the Shashti, which is the which we just saw just now, Tasya Vartamane. So for 3.2.188, that Kta Pratyaya becomes Vartamane. And that is what Pani is referring to when he says Tasya Vartamane. The Shashti will be used for that. And then we don't want the Shashti to compound. The Shashti should not compound. And so that is why the Sutram is 2.2.12 now, 2.2.12. So we are taking some samples from this section, which is completely not in the book at all, which is this one, 2.2, no Nirdharane, we saw that. And we are taking one more here, which is the Tenacha Pujayam. So it's not only Pujayam, it's referring to the entire Sutram 3.2.188. So the example here is that Mati Buddhi Pujate Bhyashtiti Sutrena Vihitaha Yaha Ktaha Pratyaha Tadantayana Shashti, which is Tasya Vartamane na Samasyate Rajnyam Mataha Buddha Pujito Va. Here Mata means Ishtaha, one who's kind of desired, wanted by the king. Rajnyam Mataha. So Buddha. So it says So this is Rajnyam Buddha means that one who is understood by the kings. Rajnyam Buddha. It is not who was understood. This is not Bhut. This is Vartamane. Rajnyam Pujitaha. One somebody who is kind of honored or well regarded by the kings. Even though in English we say by the kings, in Sanskritam the Shashti comes because it is Vartamane Ktaha. When Ktaha is used Vartamane in this sense over here, then we use a Shashti with that, and that Shashti will not compound. You will not say Rajamataha, Rajabuddhaha, Rajapujitaha. This compound will not come. So Rajapujitaha ityadav. But then how do we see a compound like Rajapujitaha then? Then we have a compound Rajapujita. And how do we justify that then? Then what we have to take it is that this is not the Kta Pratyaya used in this Vartamane. It's somebody who was respected by the king. So this is only Bhute Ktantena Sahatitya Samasaha. So if we do see a compound like Rajapujitaha, this Pratyaya Kta is not being used Vartamane. This is not somebody who is right now regarded highly by the king. That's not the one. So by the kings. It is this one is someone who was respected by the kings before. So this is the Bhutarthe. Okay, now I hope you didn't lose me over here. Is that this sutram Tenacha Pujayam is saying a Shashti Samasaha cannot be formed when the Pratyakta is used Pujayam. This Pujayam is referring to not just the word Puja, referring to the Sutram 32188. Mati Buddhi Pujate Bhyascha. We say the Pratyakta will be used Vartamane in these following these meanings. Mati Buddhi Pujate Bhyascha. So then, and that Shashti is ordained by Sutram Tasyacha Vartamane. Again, why do we need 2367? Otherwise 2369 would have stopped the Shashti, because 2369 mentions the word Nishtha in there. Tattavatu Nishtha. So Shashti could not be used, but we want Shashti to be used when the Pratyakta is used Vartamane, so 2367, but that will not compound. We cannot say Raja Mataha when it is Raja Buddha, Raja Pujitaha. So when it is Vartamane, but then if we do see a compound like Raja Pujitaha, then this Pujita is not the Vartamane Ktaha. It is Bhute, which is by 32102. We say Raja Pujita, if a compound like that is seen, that Pujitaha is not Vartamane Ktaha. It is the Sutra Nishtha, it is Bhute. It is Bhute. So that Shashti will compound. That Shashti will compound. But that's, sorry, I'm not saying Shashti, excuse me. It's a Tritiya Tatpurusha. It's not Shashti. So that is Raja Pujitaha will then be from Tritiya Tatpurusha. So it will be Rajabhe Pujitaha. So that Nishtha is Nishtha, which is Bhute. There is no Shashti there. It will be Tritiya Tatpurusha. So if we do see a compound like Raja Pujitaha, that is not Vartamane Ktaha. There is no Shashti involved there. Tritiya is only used, which is, Rajabhe Pujitaha. So that will form Tritiya Tatpurusha, Raja Pujitaha. Okay. So then, so this Nishtha is in the Adhikara of Bhute. Somebody who was worshipped by the kings. And then the other one which you talked about, 32188, this is Vartamane Ktaha. So that is the complication here. Now, last sutram for today, time is up, is what now we just said that, Krudyoga Shashti Samasyate. Krudyoga Shashti will compound. But we don't want all of them to compound. Counter exception again. So this Trijanta and Aka, Trijakabhyam Kartari. So Kartrartha Trijakabhyam Shashcha Na Samasaha. So this is Krudyoga Shashti, it should compound. But then when this Pratyaya Trich or Aka is used, again they will not compound. This is what I'm saying. This is the complicated thing of Shashti. See, what the book has given is very straightforward, Sambandha Shashti, it will compound. But these are all the things that we need to watch out for. So, Apam Srashta, the creator of the waters, it will not become Apsrashta, it will not become like that. Vajrasya Bharta, that will also not become Vajra Bharta, it will not become. Odanasya Pachaka, one who cooks the rice, will become Odana Pachaka. Why will not become? Because this is the Satya Aka. therefore the sutam is nul truchau. When this nul truchau is kartari is very in the very beginning of the krit pratyaya section. After Panini finishes with the krityaha, Panini starts with the nul truchau. Nul truchau. This is what sutam is referring to. Is that nul truchau? So nul becomes akar by 711. Yuranakau. So these, when we say this is the krudyoga shashti, which will not compound. So when the pratyaya nul, which becomes akar, apochutu halantyam, and then yuranakau, and then this pratyaya trich, when this is used kartari, this is kartari. There are some other rules where nul may not be kartari. That will compound. But this one, which is the most common one, these two are used kartari. Even though we went through we jumped through these hoops already, where Katyayana first said is that Patipada Vidhana Shashtina Samasyate, and there's another Vartikam which is Kudyoga Shashti Samasyate. By that we would qualify to make a compound here, but then Pani is a specific rule, Trijaka Bhyam Kartari, will not Samasaha, not compound. So Trich and Aka will not compound. So we'll stop here, we'll continue next time. Now make this last statement. Patyartha Bhartru Shabdasya tu Yajakadi Samasaha. Now we have the word bhartru, which is entering the trich, one who bears or supports. So that in certain senses it compounds, certain senses it does not compound. So now what has been done is that patyartha bhartru shabdaha. When bhartru means a swami, a lord or a husband or a lord, the one who kind of rules over. Shabdasya yajak, he's in the yajakadi gana. So that will compound. So we can say like we can say bhubharta. So bhubharta will be like the king, one who rules over the land. So this patyartha bhartu shabdasya yajakaditva samasaha. So yajakadi will, so all the nishedhas, which all the nishedhas, when we want some of those to compound, put in the yajakadi bhyascha. Okay, let's stop with that. Now next time only okay. We still have to do these three. We did not finish these three. Okay. So next time we'll finish up this section of Shashti Nishedha. That's the most complicated. So under this 5a, put that note over here. Is that this is from the 229. Those are about 7 rules over there. That Nishedha is with the Vartikam. That's important. Then in this next time we'll do this Ekadeshi Samasa. We'll finish next time 221, 225. Saptimi Tatpurusha. There's only 2 rules which covered in the book, which is 2140. 145, and if you have utsaha chet gruha karyam kartavyam, do the homework, this if you have time. Ramo rajamanis sada vijayate ramam ramesham bhaje ramena viyata nishachara chamo ramaya tasmai namaha raman nasti parayanam parataram ramasya dasosmyaham rame chittale sada bhautame bho rama mamudhara rama rameti rame manorame सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यम राम नाम वरानने श्री राम नाम वरानने